So the Washington Post reports that the CIA has now established a task force to deal with the WikiLeaks issue. They call it their WikiLeaks Task Force. Their WikiLeaks Task Force. Their WTF. That's literally what they are calling it. It is the CIA's WTF. I am not making this up. The CIA's WTF, the acronym for which was undoubtedly screamed at many televisions last night when Diane Sawyer at ABC aired this.
London. How serious is it? Any implication that it was coming here? Any of the things that they have seen were coming here? Director Clapper.
London?
I was a little surprised you didn't know about London, Director Clapper.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't.
The guy who clearly has no idea about all the arrests in London this week, those really serious terrorism allegations, is our nation's Director of National Intelligence. No idea. Staff didn't brief him, apparently, nor did Nightly News, which reported it on Monday night, nor did ABC's Good Morning America, which reported it on that morning, nor did the CBS Evening News, not to be confused with whatever the show is on CBS that's in the morning. The man in the job that was created after 9/11, so one person would be in charge of coordinating all intelligence for the whole U.S. government, had less intelligence on the big terrorism story in the world this week than Steve Doocy did and all of his friends at Fox and Friends. I worry about this. And when I worry about these things, I call Richard Engel, NBC's chief foreign correspondent, who is here with us tonight. Richard, thank you so much, my friend. Good to see you.
Here.
Thank you for doing this.
Thank you for having me. It's a wonderful guest.
This is a staff party, actually.
Excellent.
This is all the interns.
Got a big show now.
So how worrisome is it that the Director of National Intelligence was so off guard about this question on London? Is it unfair for us to assume he should have known this?
I don't know exactly how the question was phrased, and there's a lot of questions. And when you have that many pieces of intelligence coming at you and they say, well, what did you hear about London? You could be confused. But the general problem that there are 4,000 government agencies collecting intelligence is the problem. It is hard when there are that many people, roughly 1 million people employed in the national security industry, gathering information to make sense of it all.
Gathering it and shoveling it upstairs, and upstairs is dealing with information that comes from 1 million people every day. It's trying to drink out of a fire hose.
I've been to some of these sites, fusion centers where you have CIA on one half, FBI on the other, and they're getting thousands and thousands of data points. And you can be overwhelmed with information. The best way is to actually know what you're looking for, to have sources, to have real intelligence, instead of just becoming overwhelmed with information that is oftentimes just really a business. National security in this country has unfortunately become a business. I think it was about $32 billion spent by the Department of Homeland Security to local law enforcement agencies in the effort to fight terrorism. That is a lot of money to gather intelligence, especially when it's so much intelligence that it's hard to decipher.
And the overall intelligence budget has doubled since 9/11. And I've been thinking I wanted to talk to you about this today because of the 9/11 first responders health care bill passing. It took us nearly 10 years to get that done. But it took us no time at all to double the intelligence budget. And the question is whether we will ever know we've got our money's worth, whether we're getting anything that's worth paying for with that doubling of that budget.
Well, a lot of the money has gone to probably useful things, hard equipment, things in New York City, for example, vehicles that can sniff out radioactive devices. I've been in these vehicles in New York City, and they are powerful enough to detect someone who has had a medical test and has swallowed a radioisotope in their system on a cruise ship passing New York City.
Wow.
So that is very powerful, and that's expensive technology. What they've bought that is not useful are experts. Lots and lots of so-called experts on the Middle East, experts on terrorism, experts on Islam. I've seen some of them as well. Some of them are dangerous people who don't know what they're talking about, who are going and talking to law enforcement agencies, sheriff's departments, and spreading a lot of fear and nonsense, and they're expensive.
Richard Engel is NBC's chief foreign correspondent. Will you take me someplace else dangerous? I bet that doesn't worry my family sometime soon.
Yes, I will.
All right.
I promise I will. And it might worry your family a little bit, but
we'll lie to them about where
best.
we're going. All right. Richard Engel, thank you so much. All right, coming up on this show, the very small story that made everybody in our office Davis burst into tears today, but in a good way. We'll be right back live from the 92nd Street Y. Please stay with us.